But I moved to different areas as I continued with my, and Mom wouldn't let us watch World Beyond and Godzilla movies and King Kong movies that started at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday morning. So we had to get up at 8 and get our chores done, right? So was that something by design that she was doing for my brother and I? Or did she just want us to do homework? She was teaching something to us. That, yeah, this is your day off, but get something done. And get it done before World Beyond movies. So that was our Saturday morning movies with Godzilla. I just watched all the Godzilla movies with my grandson last week. Him and I spent the week together. So what is work ethic? What is work ethic to you? What is your work ethic that you're proud of, right? Those different elements. Being your own boss sounds fun, but my goodness, it's a lot of work. My grandson even knows that. My wife, you know, she goes, I'm going to wear a t-shirt with a keyboard on it so you can tap on me. Hey. Because I'm always in the bedroom working on the computer. I mean, there's no 8 to 5 in my life. I'm always working on something, if it's a movie or a grant or a curriculum or a class, whatever it might be. I'm always doing something. So again, I'm very fortunate with my wife. She's funny and supports me in all these things. So business development. I retired from education in 2015. I thought I retired, right? And started my business. And said I'm going to be a consultant full-time and a filmmaker full-time. Now that I've done 22 years at San Diego State University, the other SDSU, right? That passion for what you do. Hopefully all of you are fortunate to have passion in the work that you do. So again, with the work ethic, your personal set of values, belief in the benefits of hard work towards the greater good for your people. Many of us are in jobs that impact people's lives, right? So how important is our quality of work to many future generations of people? You know, that's a big responsibility when your job is impacting families, individuals, lives, right? And what is your impact towards that? So again, passion is the main element of my discussion today. And what is your dream, right? Is anyone still dreaming? I hope you all are dreaming, right? I'm still practicing my Academy Award speech, I'd like to think. You never know, you know? Who knows? You know, or it might be one of the young ones that I'm training, right? So how do I make my dreams come true? Do I lay on the couch and just dream and do nothing? You know, Mom, I need another medical school. So he was the first Oglala Lakota to get his medical degree from Stanford Medical School. So therefore he discovered Stanford Medical School. There's a little Columbus humor there. Bachelor's certificate, I started writing grants after that experience. So fortunately, that I created. So again, that was a wonderful situation to be in. I could create the job that I wanted and what I was supposed to do in that job. And what were those outcomes supposed to be? And again, many of you that manage grants know that depending on the funding agency, there's always performance measures, right? And graduation was one of them. What do you notice of this group of students besides my assistant and myself being freakishly tall? What do you notice about this group of students?
A lot of women.
Yeah. So I want to acknowledge our women in Indian country because you are the culture carriers, right? The life givers. And you've represented us at a higher level in higher education. But us men were catching up, right? But it's wonderful the example that you have provided. I was raised by one. I'm married by 2 ones, right? So I'm just beaten up. But in the middle here, from Potawatomi, Upper Peninsula in Michigan, Maya ended up getting her master's degree. She started with her associates. but she didn't want to leave her family and her kids to go to school. So she had this as an opportunity. So again, it was wonderful to have this and have her end up getting her degree, master's degree. So that's awesome to have that impact, to leave footprints that make a difference with people. Oops. So you can tell I'm a bit tall. But again, that's so awesome to see her succeed that way. Athletics, as I mentioned, was a big thing in my life. And as Dustin mentioned, I was fortunate to be playing in the Rose Bowl. So again, my goal when I was young is I'm going to be a professional football player for anyone but the Raiders. My son's a Raider fan. There's a lot of Raider fans out there. But I learned a lot of things with my youth sports, with mom and dad taking us to our little league games and all those things. You know, many of you have young ones or tacojas that you're doing that every weekend or after school. You're taking them to their various activities. And just know how important that is. Because those little ones are learning work ethic, they're learning teamwork, they're learning passion for what they do and commitment. And they're learning how to play sports too, right? So again, having this opportunity to live my dream in Arizona. But even though it was a community of people, right? And the flood took that. So again, I had a great fan club in the wheelchair section. Where's my dad sitting there, right? So it was wonderful to have this opportunity, getting honored for back at Arizona State. So it was wonderful to have 72,000 fans cheering for Indian people that day at that halftime address. So back in my athletic days, it was cool, and here it was me and Pete Najarian. I played with him at Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Mike Haynes was one of the people I watched at Arizona State. He ended up with the Raiders and is the NFL Hall of Famer. So I've been very good people come to Indian country and help me with my camps for our native youth. Number 62 right there is Randall McDaniel, and he's been out here to Pine Ridge 5 times working with our kids with me. And as an association, we're going to hopefully make a film about Jim Thorpe. As the West Coast offense wasn't started by the 49ers, and I played with them as well. It was started by Carlisle. So he was the commissioner, the first ever commissioner of professional sports. Not known or showcased, it should be. Right? So again, here he is at the Olympics. So this 10,000 youth in life, another opportunity. So these are wonderful experiences for me to be able to work. Just broke University of Montana's reception record all time. And he may get a chance at the pros. So isn't that wonderful when he was 6 years old at my camp? Right? But I'm on goal, I'm kind of work with the kids, and these are just opportunities that I had. Now another goal of mine was I wanted to be in Hollywood, and not only just be in Hollywood, but be an Academy Award winner. So, right. So even though I'm not an all-pro, it's wonderful to have that acknowledgement in my older years, and then now in the world of Hollywood, this was my stuntman, and everyone's going, "Hey, good job, do it again." I'm not talking about it. And they go, "Dude, you knocked him out. He was out for 2 days." So I go, "Oops, I'm a method actor." But Tom was great about it, and I actually was in Hilton Head and went over to his house for a barbecue. Because the last thing he remembers about me is when Jay Leno on the TV show, the late night show, he goes, yeah, some big Indian knocked me out on this shoot. So again, that was just another cool experience, and having that opportunity to work in film was awesome. These are different countries that I've been killed in, right? So it's been all over the world, this movie, and I'm still getting residual payments for something I did in 1996, you know? So that's pretty cool to be able to do that. More foreign. Hollywood Indian. That's all he knew, you know? And I realized we're not going to Adam Sandler movies for surreal. Okay. So again, there's Muhammad Ali there, and here's my wife in Venice, and we still have friends. The gondoliers are still our friends. You know, those boats where they sing, go through the canals and all that. We got on the boat, and the gentleman goes, "Excuse me, sir, are you Lakota? Mitakiwe Oyasa." I go, "What? Whoa." Because usually in America, they go, "What are you?" You know, Samoan? You know. But we're still friends with those folks. We stay at their home when we go to Venice. We were just at the Venice Film Festival last year. Excuse me. There's me dead, getting a picture with William Forsythe, who just shot me before I could kill Tom Berenger. So. But it was cool to have this, and this movie paid for my master's degree, student loans. So portraying a contracted killer for Seminole drug lords in Miami paid for my master's degree, or helped pay for it. Okay. So again, it's different now. I'm making movies. It's been wonderful that my first film, Behind the Camera, has won 17 awards worldwide. And we're up for 3 more awards in Poland, Warsaw, Poland. So if you happen to be in Warsaw, stop by. Yeah. Now, Decade of Dominance is just getting out there. And we're in some film festivals now, so we're just starting to get that out there, and hopefully it'll have some success as well. So isn't it wonderful to have that dream come true? You know, it's not an Academy Award yet, right? So with that opportunity, we all have opportunities in different various ways. Are we prepared and ready for those opportunities to attack them when they come up, right? Are we ready? What will our performance level be? Can you make your own opportunities? I'm a good web designer. I'll charge $6,000 to develop your website now. Right? You know? So again, what do you do? And then again, the passion. I'm living my dream in terms of my vocational choices. So I developed Warrior Society Development. Here's some more of the work I do with youth through that company with my youth division. Acknowledging some of the kids out there, the many thousands of young people I've been able to work with. Federal time, hey. Now Indian time, what is Indian time to you? I know we joke about it a lot, right? We got our grant in with 2 minutes and 28 seconds to spare. Hey, my record is 1 minute and 39 seconds to spare. You know, so I do exactly what I teach now when I do my grant writing workshops. I go, never ever wait till the last day. But there I am. You know, things happen, right? But from my perspective, Indian time is we're on it. Like I said earlier, you know, we knew how to work with Mother Earth, how to be effective in our communities, our Tioshbais, because we had to count on each other. No matter what our situation was, what our gender was, you know, whatever. We all had a role in our Tioshbai. Again, I see Indian time as a good thing. I always like this with all the 9 o'clock at the top there, you know. So time management. Again, how do we manage this? That controls all of us, right? So again, are we clock punching at 8 to 5? Might be, right? But how do we manage all of the different elements of time and what we have to do? What is your time wasters? Right? We all have time wasters. Right? Surfing the internet at work. No one's ever done that. Facebook during work hours, have they? Don't admit it. Our socializing, which is key. We must socialize, but when does it become a waster versus effective communication? Okay? So again, that networking, if you will. Conducting personal business. So again, I'm glad that I'm an entrepreneur and I have my own job because I work out of my home, which is very fortunate, but I get to wear all these different hats, doing different things. But I'm working 15 hours a day. You know, even more so with my back, I can't go golfing and waste 4 or 5 hours. So again, how do we turn these wasters into savers? So again, establish a schedule. Deep on my desk, I know where everything is. You know, that is my mess that I can work with. Set time limits, because sometimes I work too often, as my wife very eloquently stated with the t-shirt example. You know, so, or Gigi, he calls me, how much longer are you gonna work? That's when I've got to prioritize and say, he needs some time with Lala, with Grandpa. Right? So I make that 10 minutes, which is a nice 10-minute break from work. But that 10 minutes, how much impact does it make on that little one, that little life that we're impacting, right? So again, how do we balance? Here's the medicine wheel in another format. In time management, work, home, play, sleep. Okay? So again, your significant other, the kids, the family, the kojas, work, obviously, how much time do you put into that? Our meals and nutrition. Now, I used to survive on quarter pounders and, the Baconator, Wendy's, oh, goodness. The Whopper, right? Well, I had a heart attack a few years ago and I said, I will never eat one of those again. But I cheated and I had one Whopper in Venice, Italy, of all places. This was the only thing open. And my wife gave me permission. She said, you can have one, it's been 3 years. You know? So it was the best Whopper I ever had, I will admit. But again, I still don't eat those. I haven't had my double quarter pounders, you know, the Baconator I haven't had, all of those, I haven't had any of those. Because I wanted to make some sort of commitment because I've been given another opportunity to be able to be with you today, right? Another opportunity to spend that extra 10 minutes with my grandson, right? To be able to come out here and start programs for our people, you know, to leave more footprints. And when I work here, I don't have to stay at a hotel, I stay at mom's house with home cooking, right? So again, it's wonderful to be able to have that opportunity to work, but do something that's still connected to family and my passion for our people and the 7th generation. So again, how do we develop that time management skill? So what is your passion? What do you want to change? Think about those things when you are going to work. What am I going to do today to make a difference for future generations? Okay? And then every day in the mirror, say it to yourself, I will make a difference today. I want your kids or whatever, they're going, who are you talking to in the bathroom? Hey, myself, I'm setting goals. Right? My poor son, he had to do it all the time. He was written on his mirror. But again, dream, never lose that dream. Many of our young ones are facing significant challenges, the risk reality that we have. And some of them are losing that capacity to dream, to think that it can never happen. It's our responsibility to not let that happen in whatever capacity that we have to influence our young ones. So again, organizational culture, what are the outcomes? Management, we discussed time management, personal management, family management, you know, yourself as well. We got to be attentive to ourselves as much as we can. What do employers and organizations want? Most employers and organizations that I know look for the same things in an employee and team member. What are they looking for? What are you looking for in a staff? Again, passion for your work. Even if you have to pretend, hey, right? That negative thought process, that negative voice that we all have, and the positive voice that are going back and forth. Who's going to win that day? Who will you allow to win that day? Will it be a positive or a negative day? What is the history of the employment in Indian country? What is our reputation, right? On the res and off the res expectations. So those are some of the things, like when I'm trying to help kids get to the next level in college, many of the recruiters are going, oh, Jimmy, I know he's a great athlete, but they're going to quit and go home. And that's something that happens too often, but it's happening less often. Because now one of ours, Saltese Teton, he's playing a tackle for New Mexico, University of New Mexico. And he has an opportunity to go pro as well. So hopefully those guys get to go pro, because I was always the only Indian on all my pro teams. The token Indian, right? But it was cool to be able to represent and have that support. So passion, 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 right? How much is a career worth? Have you inquired about continuing ed or training? Well, here you are, right? You're here to learn something new, I hope, right? Again, all these different elements you can apply to your daily life, not only in work, but in family, but in education, whatever that is that we're working to get better at. So, the S's for success. Specialty. All of us have a specialty. Might be a hobby, might be sports, might be academics, some subject matter, whatever that is. So again, dreams and passions start with a specialty. And then what is your specialty? What is your ability, your leadership? Are you a game changer, a change agent? I like that term. Change agent. I am going to be an agent of change. I'm 0011, right? Whatever 00 you want to be. 11 is my lucky number. But again, is how will you influence people to do those things, right? Oops, sorry. So again, what are your specialties? Think about that. What are the specialties of the people that you work with in your organization, and how can you feed that to make it stronger, so that all of you win in that job? Strength, which is character, values, mission, and people. What are the strengths of your organization? What can you do to feed them, right? To say, oh, this person has something just like my instructors at San Diego State when they hired me right after school, right after graduation. I didn't know. I was going, what am I going to do here with all these academics? Right? Little did I know I was one of them. I didn't know it yet. Right? So again, can you achieve your goals if you're strong enough to take it? Remember, it is you that will make that decision. You have to be the one to do it. We all have strengths. What are yours? Skills. You have to be able to do the things the organization needs. So again, we all have different various roles. And then skills with passion for what the team wants to accomplish is a requirement for success. So isn't it wonderful to work with healthy organizations that people are on the same page and they want to make a difference and they want to help and be able to work with you? I've worked with those groups and I've worked with other groups that were not as healthy, let's say, right? And I think some of us, or many of us, may have worked with some of those individuals. When someone comes up to you and goes, you know what, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. What are they sharing with you? I'm miserable, and I want you to be part of it. I always go, well, then roll over. Wake up on the right side of the bed. You don't have to wake up on the wrong side. Roll over and make it happen. Talk yourself into being positive today. Because we all have those challenging days where we might not feel it, right? Whatever that mission or vision in the organization, if that group of people and team members are working together, great things can happen. Lives can change. Lives can be saved in many ways. Okay? So these skills are very important. The it factor. Okay? All of us have something. That's the it factor. Okay? Whatever it might be. How did he do that? She's a natural leader. They're a coach within the organization. Okay? So these are some of those S's that I like to use in terms of what are you going to utilize to get the best out of yourself, your organization, the people that you are serving. Okay? Selflessness. Again, sometimes in the Indian country particularly, we're going to have to sacrifice something in order to get the grant funded. I can't work at the level of funding that I prefer. So maybe I'll take a pay cut in order to get this going. Okay? So what is the elements that we have in terms of how can I make this work so that people win? Okay? What are we doing to make this organization do what it's supposed to do so that the students get the opportunity that they would not have without this grant? What can we do to manage this grant correctly and save the grant in many cases so that this still can be utilized for the students? Now, our millennials are getting a lot of attention lately, the me generation. I see it as an opportunity. Because you can address what that me is, what they want. And believe me, they're very intuitive. These young ones, right? Every generation is going, oh, Jesus, young generation. Okay? Well, someone said that about you when you were younger, right? All of the generations. How do we do this so that we can make the thing work as a team? Social. Usually social skills are not as important or not on a job description, right? But how do you work with others is on job description. That's part of the social skills sets that you have as a professional. It must be social skills in a professional manner so that you can encourage, you can build the team up. If someone's having a rough day that day, you have the opportunity to build that person up instead of tear them down. Now, it's much easier to tear things down than to build. Okay? So again, it takes that skill to be able to communicate. Communication is a big issue in many organizations. I do some of my organizational development studies for different groups. Again, you can't soar with the eagles if you're chirping with the birdies. Okay? What does that mean? Are you part of the solution or part of the problem? And will we soar with the eagles? Sometimes we have to soar by ourselves till we find other Womblees out there, right? But they're out there. So don't lower your expectation of yourself in order to be part of a group that may not be getting the job done. Okay? So again, be that eagle. Soar alone if you have to, but there's others out there that will be with you. And the capital S, scholarship. And it's not for school, although it's nice to get a scholarship, right? To have school paid for. But again, the commitment to study the organizational culture. What is the organizational culture that you work with? Right? Is it in a good way, a balanced way, or are they having challenges? How do we address some of these things within the culture? So again, your work ethic and social abilities will be an example for all. And what are you going to do today and every day? The time is now. Actually, yesterday, because there's so many challenges for us in Indian country, we have a lot to make up for. Right? But I see it happening. Our young ones are now performing and doing great things. So organizations want a person that's a self-starter. You need to be trustworthy. You have to have goals. How many here write down your goals? Right? Again, it's, you need to be able to see those goals over and over again so that you never forget them. Right? And you stay on task. So good managers want staff to make them look good. They want to empower their staff so that they all look good, right? Many of us in managerial positions, when we have a good staff, it's wonderful, isn't it? Because we can count on them to do the job. Then we all look good, and ultimately our people win. Because if we're doing good work, then the people we serve are getting quality services. Work ethic along with passion will address the S's needed for success. So again, all these S's lead towards success, whatever that success measurement is for you and your organization and your people, your tribe, your community. How do we get to that level of success and then be able to achieve the things that we want to do? And that's all for the young ones. Everything we do from a traditional Lakota standpoint is how we impacting the next generation and the following generation and the following. And are we representing our people 7 generations behind, which is our people that were at Wounded Knee? Are we representing and are we making our ancestors proud today? And that's something I always share and think about when I travel and make that journey, because both my wife and I had near-death experiences. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? You know, those little ones or denial. I didn't know I was an elder, but I missed the memo, I guess. But I want to close off with just the ending of my film. And then I'll have some questions or answer questions if there are any. Let's see. He will always be a great hero of mine, as he is to many people.
We, it does not matter where we're from, what nation, we are the human race. We are all brothers and sisters. We are all that is the 7th generation's Catholic for teaching all the red road. The red and black road here to come today. You're living in that opportunity.
And one time, when you come back to your homeland, when you come back to your reservation, do not define yourselves by the poverty that you live in. You're about so much more than that. Search for that spirit, where your spirit came from.
We end our sacred group at the end of the 7th generation. Remember that this generation, we are all we're all responsible.
I was always trained from a tradition. What are you going to do for your people? For us, and you really got to put it purpose. And I'm a firm believer of Black Ops. And I've learned a lot from our traditional leaders. That is speech. So thank you for listening, and thank you for what you do, and keep making a difference. Talk to you later. Any questions? I don't know if there's time. I know I'm going to look over. Indian time. It's done when it's supposed to be done.
Jeannie Hoban has a question.
Hey, Jeannie. Hey, Jeannie. Good to see you.
So, I guess mine is not a question. Mine is a comment to your mom. It's an honor to meet you. I just want to tell you that I had an email, and then I heard from my son, who received an award from the state of South Dakota Disabilities, and I heard from, I've known brother Don for years, and out in Washington D.C. been there a year and a half, and first time I've ever been away from my kids. And my son moved back home because I just travel so much, so he's living on the reservation with my family and my tribe. He's been working with my tribe, and he got awarded. He got selected to be recognized for overcoming his disabilities and being employable. And I really didn't know what to expect, and I heard from Jim, and we presented him at the Star Pool. My family's there. I was able to be there. It made such an impact in his life and an impact in mine. And I'll just say, thank you. I'm so proud of our culture, of our people, and that you made a difference in his life. I'm so proud. He says all the time, normal people I'm like, son, you're normal. You are normal. And you made him feel that way. And I just really appreciate you and the impact that your son has made in the lives of so many. And you're a relative of mine. You're a stranger up until a month ago. I knew your brother, but now I consider you a relative of mine and somebody that just had such an impact in my life. And as a mom whose children are away, and it's been painful for me to not have my kids with me, I just want to thank you from my heart for what you're doing and the impact you're making, not only in my family, but so many, and your sons, both of your sons. I'm sure you're very proud of them both, but they've just had a huge impact across the nation and in the country and outside of the country, so thank you.
Yes, we had our symposium last month. We had an annual symposium, and with the Oyate Circle program that I created at University of South Dakota Center for Disabilities at Stanford School of Medicine. It's quite a long thing, but it's now we have Indian-focused disability services within the Center for Disabilities at USD. So we kind of made a family triangle. My brother's at UND and at USD, mom's at SDSU. So we're covering the Dakotas as best we can in the world of academia. So I thought I retired, but they pulled me back in. But how wonderful, and just to hear that, again, another footprint to make for future generations, and all of us can do that. So thank you for the comment. Any other questions? Okay. Well, I compare myself to Bigfoot, so I wear size 17. So, but again, thank you so much, and keep making a difference for our people.
Yes, we're going to go in for a break there, friends and relatives. So let's give Mr. Warner another big round of applause.